Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope that this video quality is okay. I've just realized that my phone has a cinematic option and this is what it looks like, which I think looks amazing, but I don't know, it's weird looking at it if my face is doing what it should be doing. I can't actually believe that I'm making this video. Look, and I know before you clicked on this video, you're probably going, Amy, how dare you? How dare you be taking stuff out on a poor widowed mum of 8 children? Why are you being so suspicious? And the thing is that there's so much evidence now to suggest that this lady here has got the timeline completely messed up and she's asking for people to donate. You're probably a little bit confused right now. It will all make sense once I've actually explained what people have found, what I have found. This will make sense if you've been following along with the family, the mother, is it the Mum of 8 YouTube channel, who she's basically a widow with 8 children. Her husband passed away on the kitchen floor. And she came out and she basically just said that, you know, what am I doing? In a state of panic. She was saying that her husband had quite literally died like less than 12 hours prior to filming the first video.
Like I said, one of the things that hurts so much is how to tell them. I've been keeping it in right now. It's been 12 hours.
She was extremely, she seemed extremely stressed, and a lot of people were flocking saying, how can I pay you money? Da, 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 da. She then released, with these 2 thumbnails, may I just add, she then posted a second video and it said like jail in the thing, and she's now posted a third. And I'm going to go into some details about what these videos said and where people's warning kind of red flags came from. The fact that this lady is not telling the truth about exactly when her husband died, and I'm going to explain it a little bit further, because as sorry and as heart-wrenching I feel about this situation, I can't help but notice the glaring obvious signs, including her not quite blurring out the actual date on her phone, July 22. Anyway, we're going to get into this. I'm just going to preface this and say that anyone who loses their husband of however many years, you've got a lot of kids, you're a widow, like I've never gone through that. That must be absolutely heart-wrenching. Absolutely heart-wrenching. Do not get me wrong. I'm not here just slamming her. I'm not even slamming her. I'm not doing it for no good reason. However, if you're going to come online and say that your husband has literally died a few days ago, when in fact that is not the case, and then asking people to donate money saying that you are a sudden widow, when in actuality the date on your phone says July 22. She didn't blur it all the way. I've managed to catch that, and other people caught that as well. If you're going to do that and ask people for money, this is not good. You need to be honest, people. Anyway, we're just going to like back it up and just go into a little bit more detail about who this lady is, the red flags that were coming up, and the fact that she's lying about when her husband actually died. This lady basically sprung out of nowhere for me. I don't even know what her name is. I can't find her name in the description box. Maybe she said it in a video, but I've completely missed it. Made a few videos before this, some of which of her feet or other people's feet, like ingrowing nail feet thing, it's not for me. She had a husband who she used to video, you know, from time to time. The thing that was most interesting to me when she came on is that she was extremely upset, and she was detailing how her husband had died and how her and the kids were really used to her husband basically just like passing out, crashing, taking medication and then passing out. But where he died was on the kitchen floor, and he apparently had vomit coming out of his mouth, and she had actually waited a little while to then call the ambulance because she is used to him doing this, and she wanted to see if he was just sleeping.
The call from the coroner said he had a large pneumonia on the right side of his lung, which is probably because he was lying on the floor for a very long time. As I said in the last video, I couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He had taken his heavy pain relief pills
Reading a comment which basically said that the coroner told you he had pneumonia in one lung. That's called aspiration pneumonia because he vomited and it went back down his airway into the lung. You said in your prior video that when you'd first found him passed out on the kitchen floor, he had vomit coming out of his mouth and you did nothing but instead left him there for several hours, claiming you thought he'd wake up later, but of course he didn't. Which then went into a whole tailspin of this lady spending a long portion of her first and even second video, which is thumbnailed jail ? Of her actually getting quite worried that she was going to be done for manslaughter or negligence. Can't say it.
Put me at ease that it's not likely that I would be charged.
Has 8 children and she did not want to tell any of her younger children, and she even put it down to she wasn't willing to go to therapy because her elder children would basically be the counsellors for her, which is already not a good thing. I believe the younger lot are homeschooled. I saw in a comment somewhere where she said that she sends her eldest kids to high school. In this first video there was a lot of warning signs because she was basically saying that she didn't want to let CPS into the house, that she had to let police into the house.
Spoke to a family lawyer and she told me that they're coming in the house no matter what. Now the reason why I didn't want them to come in the house initially was because it was really messy and really dirty. So we've been frantically cleaning up the house because we want them to come in and see everything's okay, because I prioritize my children's care over housework. So yes, the house is dirty, the house is messy, but that's because I prioritize brushing their teeth. I prioritize, you know, my children over doing housework.
And a lot of people were kind of going like, well, if you're this worried, then like, what are you so worried about, kind of thing. And people just started to get this sense of, why are you doing this? Because her husband had quite literally died about, I think it was about 12 hours before, and she was there crying in front of her little kid, saying that basically explaining the situation but acting as if, you know, her 3-year-old wouldn't have any idea as to what is going on.
Now I have to do everything on my own, but thank God I have our children and our older boys. As long as we are there for each other, we don't need any outside help. At the hospital, they offered me counseling, but what are they going to do? I'm just going to talk to them and they're going to say yes, yes, no, whatever they're trained to do. And I think it would be more meaningful talking to our family, our boys, my older boys, and be there for each other. Because like I said, I don't have any friends. We kept to ourselves. We're very busy.
Now, I say 3-year-old because if you care to take a look in the description box, which is right up here, it actually says that she has a 4-year-old. It also says that she has a 16-year-old. And in her latest video, twice, she completely balls that one up by saying this.
This is our second youngest. She's 3. August 2nd, she'll be 4.
August 2nd, she'll be 4.
Her child that she has in the description box saying that she has a 4-year-old and a 16-year-old. Well, actually, she said in that video, as I just played it, that that her 3-year-old was going to be turning 4 in August.
The day before yesterday, I told our 15-year-old son, he asked me.
It also didn't really help that in that video as well, she blurred out the dates, which is already red flags, but she didn't do a very good job because there was a slight second that the blur wasn't on it. So of course, me and everyone else paused it. July 22. So this happened. Some people are speculating it was 2022. I don't think so, because in this video as well, she's also talking about 2022 and coronavirus or something. She's saying, oh, last year in 2022, I caught that. I think may I have a clip of that.
We're in the hospital and there was no visiting at that time because it was over a year ago. I was in the hospital, right? It was, you know, it was during 2022, so I don't think there was any visiting allowed.
So I think it actually is the 22nd of July, but it's just the other way around. The thing is, right, is that she quite literally has this Patreon up, and the Patreon basically says mum of 8 kids, 32 members, £2.95 a month, sudden widow of 8 children, so £2 a month. And then I do believe somewhere, I mean, a lot of people are talking about it, where is it? It says, FYI, she recently raised her monthly Patreon membership from $2.47 Canadian per month to $4.93. This is all a grift. Now, I can't confirm this. I didn't see what it was like before. On my end, it says £2.95 a month. So is that what it is in the conversion? It just tells me the pounds over here. So I'm just gonna say to this, first and foremost, is that when I was watching the original videos, I was already getting massive red flags, in the sense that she did not want her or her children speaking to counsellors, because it's fine because she can rely on her older kids. She also said that she doesn't need to learn how to drive because her older kids can drive her around. She also said she wasn't going to tell her younger kids. She said, oh, I took advice off of my teenager, who said, do not tell the little kids. Are you taking advice off of your teenager? Their frontal lobe thingy hasn't even like fully settled in yet. Like, why are we doing this right now? And there's a lot of other things. Also, I'm just going to point out the elephant in the room. Her husband, who died, was 70, and she discloses that she was 19 and he was 50 when they first got together, and she was 20 and he, I believe, still 50, I don't know, when they married.
I kind of feel like a kid because I don't know how to live now without his guidance, because I was 19 when we got engaged. I was 20 when we got married, and now I have to do everything on my own, but thank God I have our children and our older boys. I think as long as we are there for each other, we don't need any outside help.
I'm going to be 110% brutally honest. I know that you can have age gaps, but I think that is a very, 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 very questionable age gap to have. So when you then see her massively struggling and getting very upset about how to not be able to cope, how she doesn't know how she's going to be able to do anything, that she can't possibly keep the house tidy and also brush her kids' teeth at the same time, it makes you wonder just how much life experience this woman actually has. And I'm going to say this because I know I've just said all this information, I've just gone at you, but it's because, and it's probably a little bit scattered, but it's because this is literally what I've just been watching this in the past few days. First and foremost, I do want to say, like, you can clearly see that she is struggling. You can clearly see that this is a lot. However, this is not in real time. This has already happened. Her husband did not die a few days ago. Her husband died before July 22nd of July. Okay, it was before then, and that may not be a very long time ago, but the dates and the timelines in which she is portraying this is not the case. Okay, it's not the case. But her just blurring out the date was already enough for people to go and question it. And I think that it is shameful to make people believe that this is your current situation right now, because if you watch her very first video, you feel utterly like you feel so sorry for her, and people would feel sorry for her. People would still want to contribute if you just said, my husband died a few months ago and I'm needing money for funeral costs, or I'm needing money for something. People would still, I still think people would donate. There is actually a community over on YouTube where this has happened to people, and people do still want to help. Like, just because it happened a few months ago, just be completely honest. But the thing is that she's literally setting up this thing saying sudden. It didn't just happen. That doesn't take away the fact that you may still be feeling a lot of pain. But what I think has happened is that she had recorded these videos with the intent of uploading them and then never did. And then maybe she found the courage to, and she then decided to portray that this was happening all of a sudden. I don't think she is lying about the fact that her husband has died. I wouldn't like to think that she is, because that would be the lowest of the low. And I mean, it would tie in with all of the crap that we've had to deal with this year on YouTube. I've been talking to many people and we've all come to the conclusion that this year family vloggers have just gone absolutely, like, I don't know what is in the water this year. But beyond the point, you can't lie about the timeline. I reckon she filmed it, she didn't want to upload it, and now she's pretending like this is actually happening. And the reason why I'm making this video is that I want people to be aware before they donate, okay? If you're going to ask people for money, you've got to be honest. You've got to be, this is happening, right? If you lie, I feel like, and you're trying to cover up your lie, people need to know. I'm not making this video to try and say, this is a horrible lady, how dare she, da-da-da. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this because she isn't doing this. And it is extremely clear to see that she is lying about the timeline. I'm not saying she's lying about her husband's death. I would not want to say that. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that she's lying about the timeline in order to get more sympathy, in order to get more money. And I think that's wrong. So I'm just going to put this here. There's plenty of other information that I could divulge, but I just don't feel like, just go and watch the videos and you'll be able to see for yourself. There's a lot of things that are not great about this situation. And if she has lost her husband, I don't just want to be here literally just like beating a dead horse, being like, and this is what she did and this is what she did, because I don't feel it's necessary. I feel like what needed to be pointed out, I've just pointed out. Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. I really like this cinematic mode. I was going to include this at the very beginning and I thought wrong place, wrong time. Before anyone asks, no, these are not new in the sense that I forgot that I actually had nose rings. Like, I've had both my nose, I've had them pierced since I was about 14 and I got the other one done when I was 16. But I took them out for like, I think about 3 years. And then I looked at myself and I keep on seeing loads of people with their nose rings in and I'm just like, I used to be cool once. So I just put mine back in. So if you're asking, no, they're not new. I just literally put them back in, but I don't think I've ever put them in for any length of time. So got a carrot here. Be safe out there on the internet, guys. Make sure you're looking at things, make sure you're reading things, make sure you got your little beady eyes on, because anything is possible in these YouTube streets right now, okay? So I'm just gonna go drink my coffee, edit this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.